Hi, it's Denise Dubey here at CA World 13. Right now I'm speaking with Jim Frey, Vice President of Research at EMA Associates, or EMA Research.
Enterprise Management Associates.
Okay.
Yes.
Jim, you've been at the show for a couple days. What is standing out to you as interesting content here?
Well, there's a lot of talk about go big, which I kind of like that. It means step back and look at the bigger picture, if nothing else. For some people it will mean aim higher. In general, we need to be more aggressive about what we do in IT, and a lot of it has to do with being comfortable with managing IT and getting the most out of it. A lot of what I've been watching for a long time is waiting to see how infrastructure management, which is what I cover most directly, can play a bigger role and a more direct role in the grander scheme of IT. And I'm really gratified to see, and a lot of the conversations I've had at this particular event have been around how some of those management technologies, which are very rich and powerful that CA has in the portfolio, actually are escalating, and there are ways to bring them up through things like the Service Operations Insight dashboard.
Great. So you have to relate these products at the product level with the frontline folks using them up to the bigger themes, such as SaaS or DevOps or mobility and that kind of thing. So have you been talking with customers and getting that evidence that it's all coming together now?
Well, yeah, of course. I talk to a lot of the product people here at CA, so I can hear what they think is possible with these.
Yeah.
But then I also talk to the customers, and not just at this show, but at other channels, through research I do, through case studies I do.
Right.
But this show in particular, I've talked to several CA customers who are using a number of these products. And actually, it's really been exciting to see and hear them say that they're getting some of this higher level value. So, a specific example, I've talked to several who are using the Service Operations Insight platform, dashboard, and they're feeding that with data from the APM products as well as infrastructure management products. And they are actually achieving one of the things that we've always wanted to see happen, which is better coordination and collaboration and communication between the network team and the data center team and the applications team. And they actually were telling me we're spending less time blaming each other and running around and figuring out who's to blame when a problem comes up, and we're all sitting down and working on the same set of data. So we've known this is possible, and it's really happening with some of these customers and some of the CA products now.
So that finger pointing game is gonna diminish, and people are going to be more productive with these types of products and kind of focus on higher level IT projects?
Yeah, well, that's what they get to focus on. It lets them spend more time. I think what it does is it frees up IT to be more proactive. We've always talked about being more proactive in IT management, and I've talked to a lot of people who say, oh yeah, that's a great idea, but I don't have time for that. But when you do get out of these long cycles of troubleshooting, when you do get to a point where the frontline operations can actually figure out a problem and you don't have to escalate everything to level 2 or level 3, then those level 2, level 3 guys can spend a little more time looking out in the future, doing better planning, doing better coordination with new product rollouts, watching and recognizing trends that could be problematic, and going and figuring out how to fix them before it becomes an issue. So I think this is the key to being proactive in IT, is to have more intelligence built into the management tools to allow offloading the really smart and highly paid guys from doing the firefighting every day.
Right. So CA has been talking about some bigger themes, SaaS, mobility, DevOps, and big data. Any of those resonating with you at the show?
Well, I think they all do to a certain extent. I look after mostly, I look after network management, number one, but infrastructure management more broadly. But every one of these themes has an impact on those areas. So mobility, so you want to be able to use mobile interfaces to see these tools, but also you have to realize your endpoints are all over the place now. So if you're trying to figure out end-to-end path, for instance, for a particular customer problem, well, now that path, the endpoint of that path might be moving. When you're talking about SaaS now is really another interesting challenge, which is not just the way that the products are being deployed and used, but as people integrate SaaS as a way to get access to software, and enterprise software, well, guess what? Now that platform is no longer in your data center, you're reaching that across some internet-based link or some fixed link that's going to an internet-based resource. So when there's a problem with it, a performance problem, you have a new set of challenges for figuring out where that lies. Big data, it's big data, I'll be honest, it could mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
Right.
And those of us who've been in the management tools business for a long time have long known that management tools can generate an awful lot of big data on their own.
Right.
So the idea of not only dealing with big data, but actually applying analytics. And I do see that coming forward within CA's strategy. There were some announcements about the APM portfolio, adding an analytics layer. That's, I think, one of the sort of frontier areas in management tools, is doing a better job of analyzing these pretty huge piles of data that you can generate from management monitoring tools, and finding the important and relevant and operational insights that you can get out of that. So that's important too.
Great. Well, I'm hoping you're having a great show. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
You're welcome.
We'll have more from CA World.